Hey, how you doing? Pastor Brad here. This time is normally reserved for a short devotional. I'm going to do something a little different this morning and talk with you about I guess we'll call it a television show or a television series, although it's a little different than most TV shows or movies. It's made independently, and it's kind of shown in a different manner than you would normally expect. The show is called The Chosen. You may have heard of it before, maybe not. The first season came out last year. And in a nutshell, it is a story about the ministry, specifically about the last 3 years of Jesus' ministry along with his disciples. It takes from the Bible particular stories and relates them in a way that is absolutely fascinating. Now, a couple of things you need to know about this show. First of all, I'm going to recommend it highly. I normally don't do this, right? I mean, in the 11 years, close to 11 years I've been in the pulpit, I can't remember recommending more than one or two shows, if even that. But this is an exception, and I'm going to tell you why. But what I do want to say too is, unlike other movies that have been done about the life of Jesus or about the Bible, which I'm not knocking, and some of them have been done very well, but they only go so far. This particular series, The Chosen, gets underneath the story and the characters in such a way that it really does, I know it sounds cliche, but it brings them to life in a way that other television shows or movies have not been able to do, I think. Part of the reason for that is because they do take some artistic or literary license. So they are very faithful to the storyline of the Bible and the general narrative, but what they do is in a sense go beyond that and speculate as to what these characters might look like, what their emotions would be, their backstories, how they respond to each other, how they interact. And the team of The Chosen, the director and the staff, they just do such a great job in this. So you have to keep that in mind as you watch this. You will see things in every episode that are not in the Bible per se, but it's a sense of a vision of the director or in the writers and saying this very well may have happened this way. For example, the character of Peter is depicted in early episodes as a pretty wild guy, not dedicated to the Lord, but in a sense, kind of self-serving, a little selfish. He's a gambler. He's desperate because he's being taxed into oblivion, and so he has to find some rather questionable methods of dealing with that. So none of this is in the Bible necessarily. And the director and the writer stated up front that this is just a particular vision or a speculation on what it might be. But again, like I said, they remain very true and faithful to the general theme and overall narrative of the Bible. Another great scene, which is taken directly out of John chapter 3, is where Jesus encounters Nicodemus, the Pharisee. This is done so beautifully. They meet on a rooftop under the cover of darkness, and Nicodemus is asking these questions, and before it's over, he understands that Jesus truly is the Messiah, and he's overcome with emotion. It is certainly easily one of the most well-done scenes I've ever seen in terms of recapturing a Bible story. So, all of that is to say, this is well worth your time. Now, here's how you access it. It is not done like a regular TV show where you can see it every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. They make it available first of all, on an app that you can download from your phone or from your computer. And it's just called The Chosen. If you go into your computer or your phone and type in The Chosen in your app section, it'll bring that up. You can download it for free, and you can watch episodes from that. Now, when they premiere an episode, as they did this past Tuesday, they made that available on TV, but you have to go onto YouTube, or you access this show through another way, through your smart TVs, and that's a little more difficult. So what I would suggest is just simply downloading the app or going on to YouTube, and you can watch previous episodes to your heart's delight. We're in the middle of the second season. There's 8 shows in the first season, and then we've just had 4. So let me tell you, just on a personal level, what this has done for me, and then I'll close here. Normally, I'm not given to really a tremendous amount of emotion or what's the word I'm looking for, or just taking the time to really reflect deeply on a show, especially some of the past biblical stories. This one is much different. First of all, it's entertaining. It is. It's got great drama. It's got humor. It's got pathos. I mean, I've come away crying several times from the episodes. So it's very entertaining. It stands alone that way. But it also has a way of reaching, at least me, and I know many, many other people, in a visceral way, in a deep way, to where it stirs something within me. And I find myself considering the person of Jesus more deeply, his humanity, in ways I haven't thought of before. And it's a great thing. Now, we do have to be careful because it's very easy to slip into idolatry to some degree if we start to envision the character of Jesus on this show as the real Jesus. And even more problematic if we start to worship, or our worship of Jesus becomes that person. We don't want to do that. But what we do is see the particular actor, Jonathan Rumi, as playing this character in such a way that he really brings Jesus' humanity to life. Gives us a lot to think about and a lot to be thankful for as well. I would just say this, that the Bible doesn't need to be enhanced or attitude in any way. It is completely sufficient, as the Apostle Peter says, for all things that we need. We don't need anything else besides the Bible in terms of telling us about Jesus and informing us about God. But I would view this as a means of just adding something to what we already know about the Bible. And not adding in any type of revelatory way, but just maybe as a benefit to consider a little more thoughtfully the humanity of Jesus, as well as the disciples and some of these characters. And let it stir you a little bit. And let it draw you closer to God and pique your interest in His Word even a little more. That's what it's done for me. So I hope I've explained this well enough. It's a little hard to articulate when we're talking about subjective things like this. But I would not recommend this unless I felt that it was something that would really pay off and would really bless you. So again, it is called The Chosen. You can download the app. If you got any questions about it, boy, you can tell I would love to talk with you about this movie. And when we get back together on June 20th, that'll be a chance for you to ask me any questions if you want to about this great show. And I would just finish with this, as if you do watch it, I would come to it prayerfully and just ask God to keep you from crossing the line in imagining or thinking about things that necessarily aren't biblical or that would not please God as we watch this, because I think sometimes we can do that. But just ask God to lead you through it and to help you appreciate this show for what it's worth. And that is just a beautiful, I think, picture of the life and ministry of Jesus and His disciples. Hope you have a great weekend. God bless you, and look forward to seeing you guys at the end of June. Take care.